For more on the royal baby, let's bring in our angels this morning, editor-at-large at news.com.au, Melissa Hoyer, the Daily Telegraph, Sarah Lamarck, and our very own Natalie Barr. Some burning questions here for us today. Melissa, do you think Carol Middleton will visit before the Queen does?
Well, my royal sources tell me, I think she will. I think the mother of the new mother wants to visit her daughter probably well before even the Queen, even though historically we'd like to think that the Queen would visit. But no, I think definitely Carol will be the first person to visit, no question.
Yeah. Sarah, like Prince William, you lost your mum when you were young. How would he be feeling today, do you think?
Yeah, well, when you lose a parent when you're a teenager, it means by the time you're in your 30s, that's been the only reality you've ever known for more than half your life. But certainly from my experience, when my first son was born, I found my mum really came back to the forefront of my mind. I think it's just something about the circle of life.
Yeah.
I think it's about the fact that it's such a big occasion for grandparents, and to think that someone is missing out on that, you can't help but reflect on that. But I also think maybe it's a little bit more of a connection between the new mum and the grandmum, and what, you know, Melissa was just talking about, that Kate's got Carol there.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's a slightly different situation, but I think a lot of people at home watching that lost parents when they were young would know that it is part of the storyline when you become a first-time parent.
Yep, totally agree. And that Kate apparently was brought a laptop after she checked in at the hospital. Do you think she may have been checking Twitter, or how do you think she may have been passing her labour there?
Yeah, so it's quite boring labour,
diary?
really. Well, it can be boring. Why wouldn't she have had her own? That's a bit strange. I don't really understand that. She, you know, sometimes you need something during your labour to take your mind off it. So it's not all just pushing and panting and pain. But it's a bit boring.
She might be on a digital detox, like Samantha.
Could be.
I think it's a bad time to be on a digital detox.
Exactly.
Did you, Lib would always, back in those days we only had cassette recorders and Walkmans, she used to listen to the Man from Snow River soundtrack. Did you girls have any rituals when you're in labour?
No, well, I actually had a caesarean, so I knew exactly what time my son was going to be born, so I went and had a blow dry and my nails done.
Unfortunately, the same. I've got no more insight into labour than you do, in fact, possibly less.
Yeah, no, I did. I just had a natural birth. It didn't take very long. It was a few hours, and it's just nerve-wracking. You have no idea what's coming, and you're scared the hell out of what's coming.
And blokes, you usually make big mistakes too. I made it because I was sitting there eating Lib's lunch usually, and she'd be on the headphones, and I'd feel guilty and pull out and go, anything I can do. Well, the words she used, she used a couple of different words to that, and I just went back to eating my lunch. Let's talk about names for the baby. The hot tips at the moment, according to the bookies, are George, James and Alexander. Do you have any guesses?
I'm thinking it will be George. The fact that I like the name George, because my father was George, but no, it's just a feeling that will be, yeah, you love it, don't you, Nat? No, I'm thinking George.
Okay. Do you think they're into pop culture? Hundreds of Aussie parents are naming their children after characters in Game of Thrones. Top of the list, Arya, who is a fierce and independent young daughter of a lord, Arya, or Khaleesi.
I'm not sure that Buckingham Palace will sign off on those names, unfortunately, as lovely as they are. Look, being Brits, they're more likely to take inspiration from Neighbours or Home and Away than they do from Game of Thrones.
Kylie.
Maybe not for a boy, though, Kylie.
Oh,
just putting it out there as
Charlene.
I'm thinking Alf.
I'm thinking Alf is a good one. Flaming Heck.
Well, Kylie Minogue's character in... No, she was Charlene. Could be Charlene. What's been the male
the boy so Scott. It'd have to be Scott.
Louis, I think, would be nice after Mountbatten, who was sort of revered in the household.
There'll probably be a few nods, certainly. It'll be the world's longest name. There'll be Mountbatten, there'll be Louis, there'll be George, there'll be Charles.
Bit of everything.
Isn't it so great talking again about something we have no idea about? I just love it. It's just been weeks of...
This is television.
We have
no one can know the name. That's the thing. All the bets and the speculation.
Hang on, we've all got a bit bored with it though in the lead up because we waited for so long. Are you excited at the moment?
To be honest,
the birth of a baby is exciting.
It is exciting, but I think now that he's been born, let's get the name, let's get the first shot out of the two of them, or the three of them walking out of the hospital, and let's move on.
Okay, what if they come here, though? Rob Jobson, our royal reporter, says they will be here in Australia the first or second quarter of next year.
Well, we'll babysit.
I think it'll be huge.
There's always excitement.
Yeah, I think that shot coming out, I mean, I know everyone's, because it's been such a long lead up, it's sort of everyone's making jokes. When they walk down those stairs, everyone will stop. That will be the exciting shot.
And it certainly has, you know, piqued our interest again in royalty. You know, no matter how many sort of Republicans are out there, we all have this sort of renewed passion, whether you are a royalist or not. You know, I think it's
because
interesting.
they are the perfect couple for this time. I have a piece in the Daily Telegraph today saying they are everything that Charles and Diana weren't, as individuals and as a couple, and that is the love story that the modern royals needed to stay relevant and keep the public on side.
That's a really good point. That's why we're so interested in it, which is great. Thank you, ladies.